In the world of artificial intelligence, there's a new skill rapidly rising in importance, one that didn't exist a few years ago, but is now essential for anyone building with large language models. It's called prompt engineering. And while the name might sound technical, its heart is surprisingly human. It's about asking the right questions in the right way to get the most useful, accurate, or creative responses from an AI. To understand prompt engineering, we first need to understand how modern AI models like GPT, Claude, or Gemini work. These large language models aren't conscious or thinking. They're statistical prediction engines trained on massive amounts of text. When you give them a prompt, a piece of text like a question or instruction, they generate what they believe is the most likely continuation based on their training. But here's the catch. These models are incredibly sensitive to how that prompt is worded. A slight change in phrasing can lead to dramatically different results. For example, asking "explain quantum physics" might return a dense, technical explanation, but asking "explain quantum physics" to a 10-year-old produces something far more approachable. Prompt engineering is the art and science of crafting those inputs to guide the model effectively. It's a little like being a skilled interviewer or a great teacher. The model has a vast reservoir of knowledge, but it needs your direction. With a vague prompt, you get vague answers. With a precise, structured prompt, you get focused and often brilliant responses. That's why prompt engineering has become a cornerstone skill in AI development, product design, education, and even creative writing. There are several core techniques in prompt engineering. One of the most common is instruction prompting, giving the model a clear command, like "summarize this article in 3 bullet points." Another is role prompting, where you ask the model to take on a persona, like "you are a financial advisor, explain investment risk." This helps align the tone and expertise of the response. Few-shot prompting is another powerful method. In this approach, you provide a few examples of the task you want the AI to perform. For instance, if you're building a customer service bot, you might give it a few sample conversations to mimic. The model then learns the pattern and continues in the same style. Prompt chaining is a more advanced concept where multiple prompts are linked together. Instead of asking one big question, you break it into smaller steps. First generate ideas, then expand them, then organize the results. This technique mimics how humans work through complex problems and can help reduce hallucination or logical errors in the output. Some of the most exciting uses of prompt engineering come from people with no traditional coding background. Teachers are using prompt techniques to generate lesson plans. Marketers are crafting campaign copy. Novelists are using prompts to brainstorm plot twists. The barrier to entry is low, but the skill ceiling is high. Anyone can write a prompt, but writing a truly effective one takes experimentation and insight. What's fascinating is how prompt engineering blends creativity, psychology, and logic. It's not about tricking the AI, it's about communicating clearly with it. Think of it like speaking to a genius that lacks common sense. The better your guidance, the better the results. Companies are now hiring prompt engineers specifically to fine-tune how AI is used in their tools. Whether it's for legal document analysis, customer support, or content generation, the effectiveness of the AI often depends more on the quality of the prompt than on the complexity of the back-end code. That's a major shift. It means writing skills, communication skills, and domain expertise are now critical technical assets. Some prompt engineers create entire prompt libraries, structured templates that teams can reuse to ensure consistent output. Others work on multi-turn dialogues, where the AI must maintain coherence across several responses. In these cases, prompt design becomes a blend of scripting, UX design, and dialogue writing. There are also emerging frameworks to help standardize prompt development. Tools like LangChain or Prompt Layer allow teams to experiment, track, and optimize prompts systematically. Instead of treating prompts as ad hoc text inputs, they become components of a larger application architecture. That means testing them, refining them, and monitoring their performance, just like you would a traditional piece of code. Ethical considerations also play a role. The way you phrase a prompt can influence bias in the output. Asking, "Why are people bad drivers?" might elicit stereotypes, while "What factors influence driving safety?" leads to more balanced answers. Prompt engineers need to be aware of these nuances to avoid amplifying harmful narratives. And then there's the challenge of ambiguity. AI models don't actually understand in a human sense. They respond to patterns. So vague or contradictory prompts can produce unreliable results. It's not uncommon to see an AI give completely different answers to similar questions just because of subtle differences in wording. That's why clarity, context, and structure are essential. A good prompt engineer doesn't just know how to get the right answer, they know how to avoid the wrong one. That includes testing edge cases, anticipating failure modes, and stress testing prompts across various model versions. As AI models continue to evolve, prompt strategies must evolve with them. The field is also spawning a growing body of best practices. For example, placing important instructions at the start of the prompt, avoiding long and complex syntax, or using delimiters like triple quotes to separate examples. These techniques don't guarantee perfection, but they significantly improve reliability. We're also seeing the rise of prompt marketplaces, where pre-engineered prompts are bought, sold, or shared. These range from creative story generators to legal summarization templates. It's a glimpse into how valuable prompt design is becoming, not just as a skill, but as an asset. And just like software code, prompts can be versioned, reviewed, and improved over time. That's why many IT teams now treat prompts as part of their product infrastructure, storing them in version control systems, testing them with unit tests, and documenting their logic. Prompt engineering is still the young discipline, but it's evolving fast. Some universities are now introducing it into their AI curriculum. Online courses and certifications are popping up. Hackathons are awarding prizes for the most clever or useful prompts. What was once an experimental trick is becoming an industry standard. The future may hold even more structured roles. We could see dedicated prompt designers working alongside data scientists and product managers. We may also see AI tools that help generate or optimize prompts automatically, essentially AI helping humans talk to AI better. And as models grow more capable, prompt engineering will become more subtle, more strategic. It won't just be about getting the AI to generate a paragraph. It will be about guiding its reasoning, shaping its tone, even influencing its worldview. That kind of influence comes with power and responsibility. Ultimately, prompt engineering reminds us that at the heart of artificial intelligence is still human intention. The machine may do the processing, but we set the direction. How we ask, what we emphasize, and what we choose to explore, these decisions shape what the AI gives us in return. So whether you're building a tool, writing a story, or solving a business problem, prompt engineering gives you a new kind of control. Not through code, but through language. And in a world increasingly shaped by intelligent machines, that might be one of the most powerful skills you can learn. One of the most surprising aspects of prompt engineering is how collaborative it's become. Online communities like Reddit, Discord servers, and dedicated forums now share and critique prompts, like programmers use to share code snippets. There are entire Twitter threads and GitHub repositories dedicated to prompt hacks, from jailbreaking constraints to eliciting deeply nuanced responses. This spirit of iteration is key. A single prompt rarely works perfectly on the first try. Prompt engineers test, tweak, reword, and restructure. They gather feedback not just from the AI's output, but from human users interacting with those results. That feedback loop makes prompt engineering part of a larger design process, one rooted in usability and user experience. We're also beginning to understand how different models respond to different prompt styles. What works well for GPT-4 might not translate to Claude or Gemini. That means prompt engineering isn't just model agnostic. It often requires adapting to the unique personality of each system. And as open source models proliferate, this adaptability will become even more important. In essence, prompt engineering is where language meets logic. It's a way of turning human intent into machine-readable instruction, and then interpreting what comes back. It demands precision, empathy, and a healthy dose of curiosity. And it sits at the intersection of fields, blending storytelling, systems design, and human psychology into something entirely new. As large language models continue to grow more powerful and embedded into daily life, prompt engineering isn't just a passing trend, it's a foundational literacy. Knowing how to write, refine, and reason through prompts may soon be as fundamental as knowing how to search the web or write an email. Because in this new era, the question isn't just what AI can do, it's how we ask it to help and how we shape that conversation one prompt at a time.